Hello friends, and welcome back to the sixth part of the series where we'll be creating an Instagram clone in FlutterFlow and Supabase. In this video, we'll be creating the last of the user interface pages, namely the new post pages over here. So all of these pages in the blue container over here. So let's start by creating this page over here now in our FlutterFlow app. So you can go ahead and add a new page, and we'll name this page new post page. You can create a blank page, and first let's get rid of the app bar. Let's now take a look at our new post page. So firstly, our new post page has this app bar over here with a back icon, a new post, as well as a next text. So let's add a container and let's add a row, and inside this row let's add an icon for the cancel icon, the X icon. We'll add text, and last but not least we'll also add one more text for the back word. So for this container, we will go ahead and give it infinite width, so it takes up the whole width of the screen. For the fill color, we can give it a fill color of, I think secondary background is good. Let's also get rid of these spaces over here on the top. We can go to new post page, and under save area over here we'll toggle that to be off. Now let's change our icon. For this icon, we'll change it to close. Then next we'll change this text to new post. Let's also change the styling. So body medium, we'll give it semi-bold. Font size can be 14. For the text color, we'll give it some shade of blue. Last but not least will be this back icon. Actually, the back icon should be the one with the shade of blue. And this new post should be black. Now we'll go ahead and set the cross-axis alignment to be at the bottom. Then we also want to space them evenly apart, so we can do this. Then now this one is in the middle, these two are pushed to the far ends. With the row selected, let's also add some bottom padding. Maybe that's a bit too much bottom padding, so we'll change that to 16. And let's also, this should be next, not back. Let's also add some padding to the row. Alright, so that's basically done. Next one will be this image over here. So let's add an image, and this image will have infinite width because you want to take up the whole screen, and let's say a height of 400 for now. We also want to get rid of the border radius, so we can go here and just get rid of this. Now you can also see that there's this sort of icon to enlarge the image, to maximize the image. What we can do here is we can click on the image itself, and actually there's this option for us to make the image expandable. So when the user clicks on the image, the user is able to expand the image and maximize the image. So there's no need for us to add this added functionality. It already comes with FlutterFlow. And finally, we have this bottom section over here, which is supposed to access the user's photo gallery and actually populate this with all of their photos. However, this functionality is extremely complex, and because this is sort of a beginner to intermediate course, we won't be covering that here in FlutterFlow now. But we do want to add this camera icon so that we can navigate to this page, the camera page, where the user will be able to take their photo. So instead of this section, we'll just add this camera option, this camera button to go to this camera view, and we'll also add a button over here to upload an image. So what we can do here is, inside this column, we will add another row. This row will hold, let's say, an icon button. For the button size, we want to decrease it to, let's say, 36, or maybe even smaller than that. I think 36 is good. For the fill color, we'll give it a sort of grayish, a light gray accent. For the border radius, we'll just give it a very big number so that it appears as a circle. Then for the icon, we'll choose a camera icon. You can just choose this one for now. Maybe for the icon color, we'll change it to sort of a gray. Yep, that looks good. We also want to decrease the icon size. Then we can push this button all the way to the right by setting the main axis alignment to right align. Let's also add some padding to this row, and padding to the right as well. Alright, so now we have this button. Maybe we'll decrease the icon size to 28. Then we also have to decrease the we have to decrease the button size to 28 and icon size to 14 or 16. Maybe we increase the button size to 32. Yep, that looks good. And I think the padding is a bit too much. Yep, that looks better now. And maybe to just make it a bit clearer that this is to access the camera function, we can add a text to say open camera. Give it a bit of padding. Alright, looks good. Then now we want to add a button inside this remaining space. So inside the column, we'll just add a simple button. And we'll add some padding. You also want to change the button color to maybe this. And I also want to change the text style of the button, so normal, maybe even light. And the button text will be upload image. Let's change the font family as well. I also want to add some more padding to the button. Maybe we can increase this font size to 18. This icon size, I mean. Yep, okay, that looks good. So to upload a new image, the user can press this to upload the image from their phone gallery. And then the image will be reflected here. Then the user can press next to go to this next page over here. If not, the user can straight away take a picture by pressing on this icon button, and the user will be brought to this camera screen. So now that we have the new post page, let's work on this camera screen. So we'll create a new page and we'll name it camera screen. And for this camera screen, we will first get rid of the app bar. And we actually won't do the UI for now because we'll be using and implementing a custom camera widget, which will include this whole screen as well as this capture button as well as this reverse button over here. So we'll be creating a custom widget for that later in the series. So we'll just leave this screen blank for now. And last but not least, we'll be creating this page, which is the page that the user goes to after they press next over here. So in this page, it will have the same app bar of new post as well as this back icon. So actually what we can do is we can reuse it by duplicating this page, and we'll change this page to new post page or new post details page. We'll change this close icon to a back icon, and we'll get rid of this next text. But now, as you can see, we have this problem since there are no longer 3 elements but only 2 elements. So a quick fix actually would just be to add a container, and this container we can actually just remove the fill color, remove the width, as well as remove the height. But we actually want to make it the same size as this icon, so we can set the width as 24 and height as 24. So this container can't really be seen, but it acts as a placeholder so that our row is neatly aligned and the new post text is right in the middle. Alright, so now there's this picture. So the same picture, we can just change the width to, let's say, we can click on percentage to show how much percentage of the page we want this picture to take up. So let's say 60. Yep, 60 for now. And then for the height, let's give it a height of 300 pixels. That looks good. We also can add some border radius around the picture. So with the image selected, we will set border radius of 8 or maybe 16. And next, we also want to add a text field over here to allow the user to enter the captions for the post. So we'll get rid of this row for now and get rid of this button. And inside this column, we'll add a text field. So now we have this text field. Let's add a bit of padding, 24. And we also want to change the style of this text field. So first, let's scroll down and let's set the width to, let's just set the width to infinite for now. So get rid of the width. And we also want to set the max number of lines to, let's just set it to 10 for now. So we'll set the maximum number of lines to 10 and the minimum number of lines to 4 for now. And we won't add all of these other functionalities to tag people, add music or audience or location, since that is a bit more complicated. Let's continue scrolling down, and for the font weight, let's change it to, let's just keep it as normal for now, but for the font size, let's change it to 12. We also change the label size, font size, and the hint text font size as well. Let's change the hint text to enter captions. And we also want to change this fill color to our primary background. Oops, looks like I clicked the wrong thing. Yep, primary background. And last but not least, let's just add a divider inside this column. So a horizontal divider to divide this text field with the rest. Alright, so after the captions, we'll just add a share button. This share button over here. So you can click on button. This share button basically spans almost the whole screen, so we can give it a width of 90%. For the color, we will choose a lighter shade of blue. Maybe even lighter. Yeah, I think that is good. And for the button text, we'll change it to share. For the font family, we'll keep it as that. But for the font weight, we'll keep it to medium. Maybe for the font size, we'll decrease it to 14 or even 12. I think 14 is good. You can also change the height to 48, so that's a bit bigger. Last but not least, we can also add a bit more padding to the top here. So this is the UI for the new post details page done. Alright, so that wraps it up for today's video. So this is the last bit of UI that we have to create for our app. And in the next video, we'll be finally starting on the back end for our app. So we'll focus on the functionality to allow the users to upload a new post, which will be sent and inserted into our Supabase database, where we can retrieve it and display it to other users. Alright, so I hope you're excited for that, and I'll see you in the next video.